Hello students and the warm welcome in this 16th lecture of the thermodynamics chapter. So students, now we will see the Clausius statement. As you can say, the arrangement, the temperature at hot reservoir is too higher than the temperature is at the cold reservoir. So the spontaneous flow of heat from the object at a cold temperature, it is not possible. It needs to do some work. Thus, we can explain the Clausius statement that it is not possible to transfer the heat from the low temperature point to high temperature point. If you want to do so, then you have to do some extra additional work. Then it is possible. This is the Clausius statement. So students, as indicated in the diagram, you can see that heat is flowing from the cold temperature point to hot temperature point with the help of some work. So this is the simple representation of the Clausius statement. Now we will see the Carnot cycle and the Carnot engine. So first of all students, you can see the PV diagram for the Carnot cycle. So as the values of intermediate pressure are given and the values of the volume also given on the x-axis, so now you can observe that a heat engine could convert the minimum heat into work if all the irreversible processes could be avoided. Means if the reversible process avoided, not taking into account, then it is possible to heat engine could convert minimum heat into the work. So it is possible if we are avoiding the irreversible processes. So now we will observe the Carnot cycle PV diagram. So as you can say, at point A, it is moving from the path is from the A to B. So it is the decrease in the pressure and the increase in volume. So you can say increasing volume means the piston movement will be outward, and the second path, point B to C, as the little bit amount of increase in volume there, but the pressure is constant out there. Now the point C to D, the path will be the decrease in volume and the pressure will be constant, and point D to A, now it has come back to its initial state, which will be cause the increase in pressure and there will be the constant volume. So this is nothing but the Carnot cycle and the cycle for the Carnot engine. So students, we will see in detail in the Carnot cycle the exchange of heat between A to B and C to D. Then the heat exchange must be isothermal. Isothermal means students, the temperature of the system will remain constant and only temperature is at the TH, means it's a high temperature. So the source while the absorbing heat. The working substance should be temperature at a cold, that is TC, while rejecting the heat. Now the second one point says that while point B to C and D to A, for work done to be reversible, process should be adiabatic. Adiabatic means students, there will be no gain of heat, there will be the heat loss. So the Carnot cycle AB is isothermal expansion. I will tell you the paths which follow the which type of process exactly. The Carnot cycle AB will be the isothermal expansion, BC will be the adiabatic expansion, CD will be isothermal compression, and the DA will be adiabatic compression. So the expression for Carnot cycle will be as the efficiency will be W upon QH. So this may be further written as 1 minus modulus of QC upon QH and is equal to 1 minus QC by TC by TH. So this is the entire explanation for the Carnot cycle. Now we will see the Carnot refrigeration. So the Carnot refrigeration says that Carnot cycle is reversible if we operate Carnot engine in reverse direction. Means it is possible to use the Carnot cycle in the reversible direction if we are operating the engine in reversible direction. So the COP. Now what mean by the COP, student? COP means coefficient of performance. So how much performance it is giving? It is giving out of, we are just providing input to it. We will just see now. The COP of the Carnot refrigerator is equal to K is equal to modulus of QC upon modulus of QC minus modulus of QH is equal to modulus of QC upon modulus of QH upon 1 minus modulus of QC upon modulus of QH. So this may be further written as but QS modulus of QS upon modulus of QH is the TC by TH. So this value we can put here. So the TC upon TH minus TC, as the TC stands for TC upon TH and the TH stands for the modulus of QC upon modulus of QH. So this will be the further Carnot refrigeration equation. Now the most important thing I have to say you students, COP of the Carnot cycle depends upon only the temperature difference of hot reservoir and cold reservoir. Means one important thing you have to keep in mind, that the COP, that the coefficient of performance of the Carnot cycle is totally dependent upon only the temperature difference between the hot reservoir and the cold reservoir. So this important thing you have to keep in mind while you are going to derive the equation for the COP of the Carnot refrigeration. So students, we will be seeing now the Stirling cycle, the next part of this chapter. So first of all, you have to observe the Stirling cycle, how the PV diagram has been represented. So you can see there is first path point A to B, second path is followed by the process point B to C, third path is C to D, and again it has come back to its initial point D to A. So these are the four paths we have to study here. Now A to B, it is isothermal expansion of gas is heated by the heat QH at the constant temperature TH. Means at point A to B, it is the isothermal expansion as the pressure has goes on decreasing and the volume is goes on increasing. Thus we can say it is the isothermal expansion in which the temperature will be remains the constant. So heat QH is utilized, means the amount of heat rejected is used, and at the constant temperature TH, means TH will be the amount of constant temperature which has used for this expansion, for this isothermal type of expansion. Now the second point they are given is isobaric process, in which now you have to get student, whenever I am just pronunciating that isothermal then isobaric, then you have to get in mind that what is meant by isothermal, then the temperature will be constant, in the isobaric the pressure will be constant. You have to click it very easily for your better understanding. Now this isobaric process will be followed by the path DC. The part of heat is absorbed QH by gas released to the refrigerator. The heat Q is used in next part of the cycle. Gas cools down temperature TC. So in this isobaric process of B to C, part of heat absorbed by the gas, means the gas will be absorbed the heat and rejected to the released to the refrigerator. Now thus the heat Q is used to next part of the cycle, means that remaining heat will be used for the next part of the cycle to cool it down by the temperature TC. Now the isothermal compression CD, means CD is nothing but the isothermal compression, as the volume has goes on decreasing and the pressure has increased, so it will be the compression, and which is at the constant temperature. Thus we can say it is the isothermal compression. So path CD has followed by the isothermal compression. Heat generated in this part is rejected to the sink, means the heat will be rejected at the sink. At the sink means which is at the cold temperature, which is called as a cold reservoir. The temperature of the gas is maintained at the TC, means it will be the cold temperature, it will be the less temperature. Now the isobaric heat absorption DA, means the process coming to its original state. The isobaric absorption DA, the compressed gas absorbed the heat, the gas which was compressed, which will absorb the heat Q. Here the temperature is increased to TH, means that there will be the rise in temperature, thus, and the cycle will repeat thus again. So the cycle will follow the path again. Thus that will be the isothermal expansion, isobaric process, then isothermal compression, and again isobaric heat absorption. So this cycle will be repeat again, and thus this is the exact working of the Stirling cycle here. So students, here we have completed our thermodynamic chapter, but for your sake of your convenience, I will just repeat the parts which I have covered in this video, so you will get it very easily. So student, first part in the video we have learned is the Clausius statement, which states that the spontaneous flow of work from an object to cold temperature to the hot temperature, it is not possible. It needs to do some work. So as you can see, it has been represented by the diagram also. The flow of heat, the flow of energy is from the point at a low temperature towards the point at a high temperature. Means in this diagram the 2 points are given, the cold reservoir and the hot reservoir. The hot reservoir is indicated with the red color, while the cold reservoir is indicated with the pale brown color or the pale sky color. So the heat will be always flow from the point at a high temperature towards the point at the lower temperature. But students, what if we have to transfer the heat from the point at a lower temperature toward the point at a higher temperature? Then the Clausius statement say that if you want to do so, then you have to perform some amount of work in order to flow your energy from the low temperature point to the high temperature point. Then and then it is possible. So this is the Clausius statement. I will repeat again. The spontaneous flow of work from an object to cold temperature towards the object at the high temperature, it is not possible. It will be possible unless you will not do the work, means some work done is essential to do so. Then the next part we have seen is the Carnot cycle. As far as the Carnot cycle is concerned, you can see here the graph against the PV, P to V means the pressure against the volume. So it follows the fourth path. Okay students, first point is A, which follows A to B. During this point there is the isothermal expansion. As you can see, the point A is following the path towards the point B, so there will be the increase in definite amount of volume. Then the point B will again move towards point C, means again there will be increase in volume and the pressure will be constant, and there will be the adiabatic expansion, means there will be no heat, there will be no heat gain, there will be the heat loss only. Means during the adiabatic expansion the heat will be not gain or heat, there will be the heat loss only. So this is the path followed by the B to C. Now during the process C to D, again there is decrease in volume and increasing the pressure. The amount of pressure has goes on increasing and there is decrease in volume. So this here the heat is rejected. So here you can say student, the heat is rejected as there is the compression. There is the compression, which is the isothermal compression especially. Means during this change of phase, means during this path there will be isothermal compression, means the temperature of the system will remains the constant. Again the point is following the path D to A, means there student you can see that there is the increase in pressure and the value of the volume is remaining the constant, and this is nothing but the adiabatic expansion. Adiabatic expansion means, again if you observe students, then it is following the same path B to C adiabatic expansion, D to A adiabatic expansion, means there will not be heat gain, there will be only loss of heat. So two paths are following the adiabatic expansion students, and in similar way the two paths are following A to B, and you can see C to D are following the isothermal expansion. So two of the paths are following adiabatic expansion and two of the paths are following isothermal expansion. So this is the entire explanation of the Carnot cycle. So students, if you want to learn this lesson again, then you have to visit the videos again from the beginning. Then you have to see this video, repeat and repeat, so you will get it very easily. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment box, and if you want to learn in the perfect way, then you have to see this video again and again, so you will be reminded very easily when the colleges will start. If you have any doubt regarding any point or any article, we will definitely work on that. We will definitely teach that again. Thank you so much, students.